The pear is any of several tree and shrub species of genus Pyrus, in the family Rosaceae. It is also the name of the pomaceous fruit of these trees. Several species of pear are valued for their edible fruit, while others are cultivated as ornamental trees. The genus Pyrus is classified in subtribe Pyreae within tribe Pyreae. Etymology: the English word ʻpaɪrəs is probably from Common West Germanic pyrrha, probably a loan word of Vulgar Latin pyrrha, the plural of pyrum, akin to Greek ¼ to the first ʻpaɪrəs, which is of Semitic origin. The place name Pyreae can indicate the historical presence of pear trees. The term pyriform is sometimes used to describe something which is pear-shaped. Description: the pear is native to coastal and mildly temperate regions of the Old World, from Western Europe and North Africa east right across Asia. It is a medium-sized tree, reaching 10–17 meters tall, often with a tall, narrow crown. A few species are shrubby. The leaves are alternately arranged, simple, to 12 centimeters long, glossy green on some species, densely silvery hairy in some others. Leaf shape varies from broad oval to narrow lanceolate. Most pears are deciduous, but one or two species in Southeast Asia are evergreen. Most are cold hardy, withstanding temperatures between a 25 degrees Celsius and a 40 degrees Celsius in winter, except for the evergreen species, which only tolerate temperatures down to about a 15 degrees Celsius. The flowers are white, rarely tinted yellow or pink, to 4 centimeters diameter, and have 5 petals. Like that of the related apple, the pear fruit is a pome, in most wild species 1 4 centimeters diameter, but in some cultivated forms up to 18 centimeters long and 8 centimeters broad. The shape varies in most species from oblate or globose, to the classic pyriform pear shape of the European pear with an elongated basal portion and a bulbous end. The fruit is composed of the receptacle or upper end of the flower stalk greatly dilated. Enclosed within its cellular flesh is the true fruit, 5 cartilaginous carpels, known colloquially as the core. From the upper rim of the receptacle are given off the 5 sepals, the 5 petals, and the very numerous stamens. Pears and apples cannot always be distinguished by the form of the fruit. Some pears look very much like some apples, for example the Nashi pear. One major difference is that the flesh of pear fruit contains stone cells. History: the cultivation of the pear in cool temperate climates extends to the remotest antiquity, and there is evidence of its use as a food since prehistoric times. Many traces of it have been found in the Swiss lake dwellings. The word ʻpaɪrəs, or its equivalent, occurs in all the Celtic languages, while in Slavic and other dialects, differing appellations, still referring to the same thing, are found. A diversity and multiplicity of nomenclature which led Alphonse de Candolle to infer a very ancient cultivation of the tree from the shores of the Caspian to those of the Atlantic. The pear was also cultivated by the Romans, who ate the fruits raw or cooked, just like apples. Pliny's Natural History recommended stewing them with honey and noted 3 dozen varieties. The Roman cookbook attributed to Apicius, de re Coquinaria, has a recipe for a spiced, stewed pear patina, or soufflé copyright. A certain race of pears, with white down on the undersurface of their leaves, is supposed to have originated from P. nivalis, and their fruit is chiefly used in France in the manufacture of perry. Other small-fruited pears, distinguished by their early ripening and apple-like fruit, may be referred to as P. cordata, a species found wild in western France and southwestern England. Pears have been cultivated in China for approximately 3,000 years. The genus is thought to have originated in present-day western China in the foothills of the Tian Shan, a mountain range of Central Asia, and to have spread to the north and south along mountain chains, evolving into a diverse group of over 20 widely recognized primary species. The enormous number of varieties of the cultivated European pear are without doubt derived from 1 or 2 wild subspecies, widely distributed throughout Europe, and sometimes forming part of the natural vegetation of the forests. Court accounts of Henry III of England record pears shipped from La Rochelle Normande and presented to the king by the sheriffs of the City of London. The French names of pears grown in English medieval gardens suggest that their reputation, at the least, was French. A favoured variety in the accounts was named for Saint Roul or Regal, Bishop of Senlis. Asian species with medium to large edible fruit include P. pyrifolia, P. usuriensis, P.A., Brechnideri, P.A., Syncyongensis, and P. passia. Other small fruited species are frequently used as rootstocks for the cultivated forms. Major recognized taxa. Cultivation. According to Pear Bureau Northwest, about 3,000 known varieties of pears are grown worldwide. The pear is normally propagated by grafting a selected variety onto a rootstock, which may be of a pear variety or quince. Quince rootstocks produce smaller trees, which is often desirable in commercial orchards or domestic gardens. For new varieties, the flowers can be crossbred to preserve or combine desirable traits. The fruit of the pear is produced on spurs, which appear on shoots more than 1 year old. 3 species account for the vast majority of edible fruit production: the European pear Pyrus communis subsp. Communis cultivated mainly in Europe and North America, the Chinese white pear Pyreae, Brechnideri, and the Nashi pear Pyrus pyrifolia, both grown mainly in Eastern Asia. There are thousands of cultivars of these 3 species. A species grown in western China, P. syncyongensis, and P. passia, grown in southern China and South Asia, are also produced to a lesser degree. Other species are used as rootstocks for European and Asian pears and as ornamental trees. The Pyrus usuriensis, Pyrus usuriensis has been crossed with Pyrus communis to breed hardier pear cultivars. The Bradford pear in particular has become widespread in North America, and is used only as an ornamental tree, as well as a blight-resistant rootstock for Pyrus communis fruit orchards. The willow-leaved pear is grown for its attractive, slender, densely silvery hairy leaves. The following cultivars have gained the Royal Horticultural Society's Award of Garden Merit: Harvest, Summer and Autumn cultivars of Pyrus communis, being climacteric fruits, are gathered before they are fully ripe, while they are still green, but snap off when lifted. In the case of the Passé cressane, long the favoured winter pear in France, the crop is traditionally gathered at 3 different times: the first a fortnight or more before it is ripe, the second a week or 10 days after that, and the third when fully ripe. The first gathering will come into eating last, and thus the season of the fruit may be considerably prolonged. Nashi pears are allowed to ripen on the tree. Diseases and pests. Production. Storage. Pears may be stored at room temperature until ripe. Pears are ripe when the flesh around the stem gives to gentle pressure. Ripe pears are optimally stored refrigerated, uncovered in a single layer, where they have a shelf life of 2 to 3 days. Uses. Pears are consumed fresh, canned, as juice, and dried. The juice can also be used in jellies and jams, usually in combination with other fruits or berries. Fermented pear juice is called perry or pear cider. Pears ripen at room temperature. They will ripen faster if placed next to bananas in a fruit bowl. Refrigeration will slow further ripening. Pear Bureau Northwest offers tips on ripening and judging ripeness. Although the skin on Bartlett pears changes from green to yellow as they ripen, most varieties show little color change as they ripen. Because pears ripen from the inside out, the best way to judge ripeness is to check the neck. Apply gentle thumb pressure to the neck or stem end of the pear. If it yields to gentle pressure, then the pear is ripe, sweet, and juicy. If it is firm, leave the pear at room temperature and check the neck daily for ripeness. The culinary or cooking pear is green but dry and hard, and only edible after several hours of cooking. 2 Dutch cultivars are Giza Wilderman, and Saint Remy. Pearwood is one of the preferred materials in the manufacture of high-quality woodwind instruments and furniture. It is also used for wood carving, and as a firewood to produce aromatic smoke for smoking meat or tobacco. Pearwood is valued for kitchen spoons, scoops and stirrers, as it does not contaminate food with color, flavor or smell, and resists warping and splintering despite repeated soaking and drying cycles. Lincoln describes it as a fairly tough, very stable wood. Carving. Brushbacks, umbrella handles, measuring instruments such as set squares and T-squares. Recorders. Violin and guitar fingerboards and piano keys. Decorative veneering. Pear wood is the favored wood for architects' rulers because it does not warp. It is similar to the wood of its relative, the apple tree, Pyrus malus, and used for many of the same purposes. Pear leaves were smoked in Europe before tobacco was introduced. Health benefits. Pears are a good source of dietary fiber and a good source of vitamin C. Most of the vitamin C, as well as the dietary fiber, is contained within the skin of the fruit. Pears are less allergenic than many other fruits, and pear juice is therefore sometimes used as the first juice introduced to infants. However, caution is recommended for all fruit juice consumption by infants, as studies have suggested a link between excessive fruit juice consumption and reduced nutrient intake, as well as a tendency towards obesity. Pears are low in salicylates and benzoates, so are recommended in exclusion diets for allergy sufferers. Along with lamb and rice, pears may form part of the strictest exclusion diet for allergy sufferers. Most of the fiber is insoluble, making pears a good laxative. Cultural references. Pears grow in the sublime orchard of Alcinous, in Odyssey. Therein grow trees, tall and luxuriant, pears and pomegranates and apple trees with their bright fruit, and sweet figs, and luxuriant olives. Of these the fruit perishes not nor fails in winter or in summer, but lasts throughout the year. A partridge in a pear tree is the first gift in the 12 Days of Christmas cumulative song. This verse is repeated 12 times in the song. The pear tree was an object of particular veneration in the tree worship of the Nak peoples of the North Caucasus, see Vanak mythology, and see also in Ossetia, the best known of the Vanak peoples today being the Chechens of Chechnya in the Russian Federation. Pear and walnut trees were held to be the sacred abodes of beneficent spirits in pre-Islamic Chechen religion and, for this reason, it was forbidden to fell them. See also, List of culinary fruits, pear-shaped. References. This article incorporates text from a publication now in the public domain, Chisholm, Hugh, ed. Encyclopædia Britannica. Cambridge University Press. External links, California pear recipes over 100 pear recipes from California pears. European pear varieties description of Australian commercial pears, fruit in mythology symbolism of pears. Handbook of Practical Gardening gardening information on pears. The Pear and History, Literature, Popular Culture, and Art, Pear Panache a collection of pear recipes for chefs and by chefs, Pear Recipes collection of pear recipes from Pear Bureau Northwest, Pear Varieties information about pear varieties grown in California. University of Georgia Pear Page History of Cultivation and Commerce. Wild pear, Pyrus pyrasta diagnostic photos, Morton Arboretum specimens, when to pick and how to ripen pears to perfection. Oregon State University Extension Service. July 2009.